So let's go back to the topic of xenophobia in South Africa for a bit. And I'm just starting to realize, yes, shocker, I am just realizing that we've been lied to. Once again, like every other thing, we have been lied to. There's this narrative that has always been pushed that Black South Africans are very xenophobic towards other Africans. And it's always other Africans as an entire continent. The agenda being pushed out and the lies being pushed out is South Africans are very xenophobic towards all other Africans. But they never tell you where this chaos started. It's always, oh, they're jealous of other Africans going to their country and making money. They are jealous instead of doing the same businesses and competing. They are just worshipping the white people. Those are the things that make it to the media. It's not me. I grew up seeing it. I grew up discussing it, thinking Black South Africans were xenophobic. Until recently, when I saw videos of South Africans throwing away bad food, expired food that was being sold by foreigners in their country, and it led to deaths. And I was like, wait a damn minute. So you're telling me this whole time we're being told that South Africans are not good and they hate other Africans and they are literally worshipping the white people. That's why they don't, instead of kicking out the white people, they want to kick out the black people. When that's actually not true. These illegal migrants, illegal immigrants in their country are literally doing harm. And somehow South Africans, the Black South Africans are supposed to be chill about it because when they talk, they're xenophobic. No. So why is it that there's this false narrative that has been spread for years?
It said it is only in South Africa where when locals here want illegal, undocumented people gone, it's the only place on the African continent where it's called xenophobia. Because they were saying it happens in many countries. In Nigeria, they deport.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
In Ghana, they deport. In other places, they actually send buses. You shouldn't be here. Nowhere in the media, anywhere in the world is it called xenophobia, except for when it's here.
Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Robbie Masaga. Today we are diving into a controversial and a thought-provoking topic. But first, I have a question for you guys. Have we been lied to about xenophobia and about Black South Africans? Is whatever we've been told whole truth, or are there gaps to this story? Because I've listened to whatever that this lady has said, and let me tell you guys, I can attest that everything she said is true. And I tend to believe that 50% of whatever that we are told on these mainstream medias, 50% of whatever that students are taught is not true. It's not. I was one of those people who used to, judge South Africans. I used to think those people are violent until I started doing my own research. That is when I came to learn that there is a lot to this story. There is so much that we are not taught. There is so much that they don't show us. Thanks to social media, today we can get more information easily. Information that mainstream doesn't show us. I was one of those people who didn't believe that, who used to think that South Africans were violent people. Who used to think that South Africans didn't like fellow Africans until I got to do my own research. That is when I got to know that there is so much that we don't know.
So why is it that there's this false narrative that has been spread for years? And I used to think that even when I was in high school, when the first major incident of xenophobia happened and the news was showing South Africans saying every African needs to go back to their country. And it was like, damn, what did we do? Until TikTok, when I realized they have a specific list of countries in Africa that they do not want in their country because of their misbehavior. Very valid reasons, actually. It is Zimbabwe, it is Nigeria, and it is Somali. Let's be honest, Nigeria is an issue with every single country. Majority of the countries in the world have an issue with Nigeria, so that's valid. Somali, we Kenyans had an issue with Somali just a few months ago. I don't know about Zim because we've not interacted with them, and it's just like, so why are the media outlets not painting the actual picture? Why bring division? Why make it as if Black South Africans just generally hate other people? And as basically it's trying to say that it's because they're worshipping their white people, when in reality that's not true. And white South Africans also don't want other white people from other areas to come to Cape Town. And I'm like, why are they not telling us that? Why is it not that a Nigerian illegal immigrant has been caught selling drugs in South Africa, which has caused an uproar? It is always South Africans hate Nigerians because they are jealous. Like, what? That's not fair, though. That is absolutely not fair. But then again, when you think about it, the whole point is to just cause division, because there was a time when we as a continent stood together to fight against colonization. And especially, let me speak for my country, Kenya was very vocal. We were ready to completely stop negotiating with the UK. What the name of this woman, the one that died? Oh, Elizabeth, that Shuri, completely cut off ties if they did not stop the apartheid that was going on in South Africa. Like, we were ready to fight. We literally actually fought together, if I'm not wrong. And that's the thing. You don't have to support people by going to their country. And that's basically what South Africans are saying. And I absolutely agree with it as a Kenyan. Why do you want to support other people by going to their country? How about you fix your country first? And I'm saying this without fear of contradiction as a Kenyan. Any African country that refuses to fight back against any colonizing regime or corrupt leader should not be going to other people's countries. Especially you've seen us fight for our country. Then you want to come and enjoy the benefits of us fighting for our country. How's that fucking fair? Okay, so if every single African country is running away because they have issues, then we are going to lose the entire continent. Wouldn't it be better if every single one of us fought for our countries? Nigeria, I'm speaking to you. Fought for our countries, and then we can all enjoy this entire continent free from colonization and bad leadership as a continent. How about we do that? Because, you see, you guys are jealous. No, we are not. We are telling you to go back and fight for your bloody country. And I'm saying it as a Kenyan too. This is not even just about South Africa, because this negative painting issue is just meant to completely bring division among the African countries. But let's actually speak as an African country. Some of you, Zimbabwe, I'm speaking to you, need to fight back. You saw Mozambique do it. You saw Kenya do it. You can do it. Nigeria, you're 560 how many million people? For fuck's sake. That old man needs to get out of that chair. If South Africa is currently fighting to remove Ramaphosa, cupcake. If Kenya is currently fighting to remove Ruto, why are you not doing anything? Oh, this country is very corrupt. Fix it. We all are trying. Fix that goddamn country. Once you fixed it, you literally have the benefits to enjoy the entire continent, because why not? But now if you become a flight risk to every single country, Nigeria, surely. Anyway.
Whenever South Africans are crying out legitimately, and when you criticize them, I mean, there's been a Krugerstop case where women were raped, and then you keep quiet, and you're going to tell people that they're xenophobic. They must, keep quiet because one day they must work for foreigners. You cannot insult South Africans at regular intervals, And I believe that they're decampaigning themselves. Maybe they might still retain their percentage.
Something I came to learn is South Africans are actually good people. And I'm not saying this to please them, because I've witnessed that on the comment section. There's a video I did where I was questioning why South Africans were, why South Africa is a xenophobic country. And people were correcting me on the comment section. And majority of them, there are a few who, called me names, and which I understand. But majority of them, they corrected me, but they used to refer to me as sister. Someone is correcting you, and the way they refer to you with, so much respect. They are not insulting you, but they are trying to correct you in a good way, in a way that you can understand. Actually, those comments are the ones that made me to do more research about South Africa. If it was my country, let me just be sincere, if it was my country, because my country never spare people on the comment section. If I was addressing my country and maybe I came from maybe I was a South African addressing Kenyans, or I was Nigerian addressing Kenyans. Let me tell you, Kenyans would not spare me on the comment section. I know my people. So I believe that South Africans are not what we think. We've been lied to. We've always been told that black South Africans are not good people. They are very violent. They hate foreigners. That is what we've always been taught. There's so much that was hidden from us. We all know what xenophobia is. Mainstream media has the power to change narratives. Stories about xenophobia are either silenced or amplified. They don't get to tell us the whole truth. But thank God, now we do have social media, because with social media we get raw and very unfiltered information. Mainstream media normally creates a one-sided story because they concentrate with certain groups, either victims or threats. And that is what that students are taught. That is what that we get to see on mainstream. We get to see one-sided story. Yeah, they don't give us everything. They tell us what they want us to know. They feed us information that they want us to know. They don't give us everything. And it begs the question, is this intentional? And if yes, why? Why do they have to feed us information that they want us to believe? Why can't they tell us exactly how things happen? Why do they have to lie to us? Let's consider politics. The government and politicians normally use xenophobia to push their agendas. They normally use xenophobia stories to unite people against a common enemy. They just want to, create misunderstandings so that they can gain whatever that they want to gain from it. Sometimes they say xenophobia doesn't exist. Sometimes they say it's the outsiders, now the foreigners. They say the foreigners are the ones who are bringing all these problems, who are creating chaos in other people's countries. Sometimes they say it's the locals. They say it's the locals who are trying to fight foreigners. What do we believe? What motive do these people have that they have to create, to come up with different stories to, confuse us? What motive do they have? Or what do we believe? Because each politician will come with a different narrative. They will come with different stories. And all these politicians, they have their own fans. They have people who are, people who believe in them. So I'm going to believe in a particular politician because that is the person I love. So I will believe everything he tells me. Even when he's lying, I'm still going to believe whatever that he's telling me, because I want to impress my politician. And someone else is believing every lie that their politician is telling them. So we don't even get to know what is true and what is not true, because politicians are the ones who are playing this game. And I've always said this, we do have corrupt leaders almost everywhere in Africa. Yes, we do have good politicians, but majority of them are very corrupt. People enter into politics when they are, innocent, pure, but the moment they start getting money, they become corrupt. And they start selling us stories that don't even make sense. We end up fighting each other because our politicians are the one doing that. We end up hating on each other because our politicians are trying to convince us that this person is not a good person, this person is not a good person. And we believe that. We've always been told that black South Africans are very violent, they are hostile towards foreigners. Have you ever wondered or have you ever asked yourself why this is the primary narrative? Why haven't we ever heard that these South Africans are violent? They are also South Africans. So whatever that is affecting black South Africans is also affecting white South Africans. But why is that black South Africans are the only ones that are branded to be violent, to be hostile towards foreigners? Towards foreigners like Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Somali. And remember, it's not only South Africans who have a problem with Nigerians. Nigerians have problems with almost every country on the entire continent. You go to America, they have problems there. No one wants them there. You go to Australia, you go to UK, you go to, Google around. You'll notice that almost every country wants Nigerians out of their country. So if other countries have a problem with Nigerians, why do we have to brand South Africans as hostile people, as violent people towards Nigeria, when it's Nigeria who have a problem with almost everyone? South Africans also have a problem with Somalis. Not long ago, just like the lady said, it's true. Whatever she said is true. Not long ago, Kenyans had a problem with Somalis. They accused Kenyans of, unaliving some Somali members, only to discover later that the suspect is a Somali. So they were accusing Kenyans of something that they don't even have evidence of. The investigation is still undergoing, so I can't even comment much. But you see, we had issues with them. I have two friends of mine. They had gone to buy a TV somewhere in Nairobi, and it's Somalis who sold that TV to them. Those Somalis ended up conning these friends of mine. When these friends of mine went to complain, they went back to complain. These Somalis wanted to beat them. Imagine you want to beat someone in their own country just because you've done something wrong to them. They are trying to complain, and instead of you even apologizing or even, refunding money, you want to beat them. You even say that there is nowhere they can take you because you know people, and by people they mean they know the police, because they can give our police a few coins and our police will end up siding with them. You see how politics plays mind game on us, because it's our leaders who are joining hands with foreigners to do these things to locals. Instead of, as a policeman, instead of protecting the person of that country, you end up protecting someone from a different country because they are paying you something small to for you to keep quiet. And that is why even today South Africans are crying. They are fighting for their country because these politicians have failed them. A lot of South Africans are struggling today because of these politicians, these leaders who are giving them fake promises that they don't even get to deliver. I used to think that black South Africans were, very violent people. They were very bad people. That is the mentality I had before. Even just thinking about going to South Africa was scary because you could, start thinking about how you're going to be treated there. Just because someone sold to you lies, you end up believing that those people are very violent. You think the moment you land in their airport, the first thing they will do to you is attack you. You might even be unalived. That is what you start thinking. Until I got to do a bit of research, that is when I got to learn that there is so much people don't know. There is so much false information that is being sold out here, and people are believing. People are believing. And these people are believing that information. Let me tell South Africans today, those people are very innocent because it's what they've been told. And majority of them, they are not like a few of us who have done research to get to learn more about the real South Africans. So we cannot really blame them. We blame our leaders, these leaders who just want to create misunderstandings between us so that we can end up hating each other. Politicians are failing us, and not just South Africans. Politicians are failing every country in Africa. These corrupt politicians, they are failing us. As long as you bribe them, as long as you give them something small, they will do anything that anyone wants them to do. When you do research, and I mean intense research about South Africa, that is when you'll get to know that South Africans are used as a scapegoat for all the problems in South Africa. Foreigners are misbehaving there. And just because they are paying something small, every blame is put on South Africans. South Africans will be called, they are xenophobic people, they are violent, they are hostile, they are blah, blah, blah. just because they want to impress a few foreigners who've gone to their country to misbehave. And now South Africans end up struggling. Some of them don't even have a roof on their heads. Some of them don't even have something to, feed their kids. And when they complain, they are called violent, hostile. That is what they are termed as. That is what they are branded. Violent people, a xenophobic country. And all of us will start believing, oh my God, South Africans are very violent. I can't go to South Africa. South Africa is a xenophobic country. That is what the mainstream is showing us. Thank God right now we do have social media. We have social media and there's a lot of information that is disbanded out there for you to go out there and learn. So before you judge someone, listen to the other side of the story, because there's always two sides of a story. Yeah, that is all I had for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the comments, and as usual, please remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. And until next time,